Bitcoin is coiling up for a massive move to the upside, as you can see here, and I will zoom in later on in this video to show you why that is the case and what my strategies are doing. I even believe that we are in a similar situation like we were here in 2020, shortly before the massive push to the upside. If you are new around here, you need to know two things. First of all, I love coffee and I will be drinking a lot of coffee during this video. Second of all, wait a minute. Second of all, I am the trade automation guy. Every single coin that I trade is fully automated with my own strategies that I have developed myself because I'm an engineer. So basically, I gave up all of my engineering jobs that I had in the past. You can check me out on LinkedIn. I was VP of engineering at DAP Radar last time. And now I'm sharing my trade automation knowledge with you guys for free on YouTube to help you automate as well, because this way I can help most people. In fact, I think I can help 95% of all retail investors in crypto, because those people have something in common. They don't have time and they are way too emotional when investing in crypto. Automation can solve that. In fact, I have a video about how to automate your trading up here in the corner, and it has been watched massive amount of times, meaning that people actually need this knowledge. So make sure to subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. On a weekly basis, I will share what my strategies are doing, sometimes more often. If you want information more often than weekly, then make sure to join my Telegram and also follow me on Twitter. The links are down below. With all of that in mind, let's get into the content. If you are new around here, let me show you what the strategy that I'm using here has produced in results so that you can get an idea why I'm so bullish on the market right now, because the strategy gives me an indication, right? So you need to know this strategy has been trading since 2018, as you can see here. And the reason why not before that is because I didn't trade automatically before that. I want to keep it real. So 2018 forward until now, 2,900% profit, 70% profitable trades, profit factor of 8.8, and a max drawdown of 15%. And for the ones who actually are algorithmic traders or have used strategies like this strategy works on whichever asset, crypto asset, not just on Bitcoin. Okay, with all of that in mind, let's zoom into the chart and look at why I am so bullish on the market right now. Now, this strategy has been making great profits here in the latest couple of, well, half a year or so, because it started here in October, and in October it bought and made a profit of 39-40% roughly. Then here another buy and sell, and it made 42-43% profit. Now, since then, the strategy was basically out of the market, which is quite nice. Let me delete these things here, because the market wasn't really giving anything, right? So when I sold over here automatically, and I went to Twitter Spaces, and also I made YouTube videos and I was interviewed and everything, people thought that I'm mad, right? Because this was just a short correction and then it will pump to the moon, right? But it didn't. Instead, what the market was doing was chopping up people here, and people lost money, okay? While I was not doing absolutely anything. Again, I automate everything that I trade. Now, the strategy bought here, you could argue that, well, that is actually resistance, which I fully agree with. And of course, I would have liked the strategy to buy it down here, but that's exactly the risk reward that this strategy gives, right? It doesn't buy when the odds are not in its favor, which again is why it has 70% profitable trades. So I'm okay with that because I got used to it over time, right? Okay, so what happens here is that when this strategy actually flips bullish, then the probabilities are very, very high, at least 70% in this case, that it will actually pump higher and the strategy will make a profit. The profit can be just tiny or it can be massive, but it will be a profit, right? So that is the game I'm playing here, right? And why I'm even more bullish is because I have another strategy, bot one, which actually would buy into Bitcoin in the night. If you watch this video, this is alpha for you. In the night, meaning once the daily candle has closed, right? So with this knowledge, I know that all of my bots, will be invested in Bitcoin with that thing, right? That means that this is very bullish. The probabilities are way higher than 70% that this will be a profitable trade. Going back to the previous strategy I was showing you before, is already invested, right? But bot one would buy here, very close, basically the same buying signal, honestly. And that happens sometimes. And that is the additional confidence that I need in order to go in with more money, right? So the idea here is not to have every single trade possible, right? No, I only take the ones that have high probability. And when they happen, I put massive amount of money because the probability is higher, right? So this is what I really like doing, and doing that for a longer time actually increases my portfolio value, right? And speaking of portfolio value, this is actually the same strategy, but this time I just turned on this line, which is actually the portfolio value. And as you can see, the portfolio value goes up in a staircase and avoids massive drops, correct? See, massive drop avoidance. Here, massive drop avoidance, portfolio was stable. Here, portfolio was stable. And I never fall back on the previous level of wealth that I had. I always go up or I stay stable. And so that's why I'm so bullish. And if I look back into the past, I see a very similar situation here, right? Where basically we had, okay, let me zoom in, let me zoom like this to show you exactly what I mean here. And also let me delete this first because too much clutter on the chart. All right. So why I believe this is because first we have a bear market, right? Massive bear market. And we already had that. Okay, cool. Checkbox, right? And then we have a pump up, which however much the pump is. This was this one. Okay, cool. We had that as well. Then we have some kind of a correction. We will not have COVID, right? So we had that correction here. Not that strong as it was here. This was 45% and then COVID was over 50% drop, okay? And the reason why is because all the ETF news and all these things, so the drop was there, but it was very tiny. And then you had this recovery phase, which we also had already, which was very strong because of the ETF, right? And what is missing now? Well, this is missing, all right? That's why I think that we're close to the actual full bull market and I'm mega bullish, right? So to summarize, okay? We have the phases that I just showed you and the last missing piece is the full bull. And we have all three of my strategies being invested. At least if the candle closes as it is right now, then bot one would also be invested and all of my Bitcoin allocation will be basically in the market again, right? So that is why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin. And that is also why I'm sharing with you this knowledge. So if you watch this in time, you can benefit from it. One more thing you need to know about Bitcoin's price action is that it is trying to break above this line, this trend line over here. And it might do it today, tomorrow, or in a couple of days. And once it happens, then it is absolute go time. And we can expect new all-time highs. Going over to Ethereum, it's a very similar situation. The strategy has bought over here. So now we are plus minus zero because price is exactly where the buy price is, honestly. And by the way, I have to show you the strategy performance numbers. And as you can see, it's a bit more risky because Ethereum is more volatile with 27% drawdown, 2.9 profit factor, 55% profitable trades, and 2,700% profit since, again, 2018. As always. All right, back to the chart. So it has to break above this line because the trend line will actually act as a resistance line, obviously. So once it breaks above this line, then as well for Ethereum, it is absolute go time. But honestly, I'm not that bullish on Ethereum because I'm actually even more bullish on Solana. And on Solana, by the way, we made 31,000% profit since 2018. You can see the numbers here. I'm not going to read them. You can pause and check it. And basically why I'm more bullish on Solana is because more projects, big projects like institutional projects, PayPal and so on, they actually adopt Solana as their technology, not Ethereum because it's too slow. So for Ethereum, there are not a lot of stories that are pushing it to the upside, right? So now we have layer 2s paying way less money to do rollups. So now Ethereum is inflationary again because not enough Ethereum is being burnt because the transactions are cheaper, right? Then you have gaming, which is not at all on Ethereum. Then you have payment providers, which are going to Solana, right? And gaming is where? On Solana, on Avalanche, on Matic. So that's why I'm not very bullish on Ethereum. I do still have an allocation for Ethereum, of course, because who knows, maybe it's still going to go to the moon massively. But I have put more allocation into Solana, Avalanche, and Matic because those are for me the most promising projects in this cycle. Of course, you might now say, wait a minute, what about Fetch AI, Jupiter, and all these things? Yes, I also have allocations for those, but it depends on the position size based on the risk that these projects bring. So most of my money is, of course, in the big ones, the most promising ones plus big ones, and less of my money is in the new projects because they can still pump 10x, 20x, and they will still make great money. So position sizing is quite important. And maybe I should do a video about this so that you learn that as well. If I should do that, then let me know down in the comments. But let's still look at the Solana price action before we wrap this up. So here is a buy signal for the Solana chart. We are slightly in profit, very minimally. As you can see, this is a horizontal resistance line. And by the way, horizontal lines are stronger than diagonal lines. So this line, as you can see here, acts as resistance. Now, if it breaks above and retests and pumps after that, that's very bullish. But here is the thing, right? If people are waiting for the breakout, then the breakout could actually close above this. And that would already mean a pump of at least 6%. So what can happen here is that people are waiting for the breakout, but the breakout will be so large that it will even break above the local high. And then basically people have missed out on all of this gains that they could have made, right? Just my opinion. And that's why I'm happy that my strategy bought here, because now I don't really mind if it goes slowly above this local high or if it pumps above this local high with one candle. I don't really care, right? So that is Solana. And let's quickly take a look at macroeconomics, but just quickly because I'm not good at this. But what I can see is pretty obvious to me. Interest rates are coming down. Europe and Canada are of high probability to cut rates this week. Great. The US might do the same a couple of months later. That's awesome. And also money is being printed to keep banks alive, which again is actually quantitative easing, but kind of hidden, right? Now, what can happen with this kind of mix of parameters is that you have a blow off top, right? And then you actually have the recession, because the US still did not acknowledge that there is any kind of recession anywhere, but that usually means that it will come, right? Because if most people are not expecting it, they will get punished by exactly that, right? So take care. And this is also why I'm happy I have my strategies fully automatic, because if the blow off top comes, I make money. If the crash comes, I sell before losing all the profits. Ta-da! Problem solved. I don't need to worry about anything. And if you want to learn about automation as well, I do have a masterclass where I share all of my knowledge and access to my strategies. You can check it out down below. But before you do that, you might want to watch this video where I show you how to automate a strategy with every click you need to make to automate from TradingView into your exchange with a good strategy actually that works well on Bitcoin. It's fully free. Check this video. People love this video. Okay, so I see you over there. Make sure to subscribe. Cheers.